Hey, this is Market Moves coming at you. We're going to be diving into Supreme Cannabis. Every week we try to go over a new cannabis company, letting you know what's happening, what the new hottest stock is, and try to just learn them all and understand what the best investment is long term. So Supreme Cannabis on the radar. Stay tuned. Just two quick things. Please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And top right hand corner is the playlist of my top pot stock videos. So pot stocks are taking off. They are the future. This industry is growing so fast that all these companies cannot be valued very efficiently. So they're going to be going up 100% here and there. And this is the industry to be trading, to be long-term investing. And I have 52 videos on the industry, on stocks in general, and if you want to check it out, it's in the top right hand corner, all these videos. So what I always do when I'm looking at a new company, a new stock, is I go to the website. The website has everything. It lets you know the investor presentations, the financials, the company, what they sell, and this is the first place you should go to as an investor. Don't go to some article that some Joe Schmo written in West Virginia, because that is not going to be an accurate description of the company. You need to go straight to the website. It's going to tell you if the company looks legitimate straight when you see it. So first, Supreme, the website right away does not look legitimate in my opinion. Not that it looks terrible, but it doesn't look up to par with some of the other companies. So this tells me they're not doing a lot of sales on the internet, and they're not trying to market anything on the internet. So this isn't the worst thing in the world, but this just does look like I could have made it in at least 30 minutes. I'm not even joking. So this website, not the best, but it does have an investor section, which I head to right away, and I don't care about any of this. This is just pretty much the worst written website I've ever seen. I'm just looking for that investor presentation right here, just to give me a raw overview of the company. So I went to the presentation, I looked through it before I even started this video, and I'm going to go over it one more time just to show you the highlights I saw, what the company looks like in my eyes, and what you should be looking for in the future with this company. So first off, this company has some metrics I just want to go over in my cannabis company PowerPoint presentation. So this is just something I've been adding to every time I look at a new company. I just put it on the list. So FIRE is Supreme Cannabis. You're going to be looking for the ticker FIRE. Unfortunately, I don't think there is a US ticker for this company. I think it's only Canadian traded, but still, it may be listed on a NYSE or NASDAQ eventually. So it's in your best interest to pay attention and understand what this company does, and if you would buy it, if you like it, and whatnot. So the market cap, one of the best metrics to look at. Basically, what is the market valuing this company at? It's valued at 580 million. So that's kind of like the size, the raw size of this company. It puts us at, I'm going to be honest, it puts us at the lowest end of the spectrum. So next to CanTrust, next to Organigram, even lower than Organigram. And the leaders are all in that 7 to 10 billion range. I've been just updating this list as it's been growing. Most of these stocks may even be doubled from here, but I just put in CGC. It's at $17.8 billion for a market cap. That is massive. So right now CGC is the leader, and we're coming in with 580 million. So if you think about it, if this company wants to get to $1 billion in market cap, it would have to double. So for it to double, the price is going to double. That's great for you as the investor. CGC, for that to double, it would have to go to $34 billion. So that's a larger company. They need sales to back that up. And I think it's easier to double when you're in the millions, because you don't need to change too much. You just need to increase production a little bit, get the distribution channels in line. So I think the lower market cap has more room to run. That's a plus for Supreme Cannabis. 2 shares outstanding. You can see Supreme Cannabis, aka FIRE, comes in at 367 million for those shares. So that again puts us in that lower to middle lower range, where most of the companies have about 300 to maybe 100 million. And you have ACB, the dilution hero, coming in at $1 billion. So the 367 million, that's actually higher than most of the companies. it would actually put this in second place in shares outstanding. And these are actually fully diluted, so most of those shares aren't in the market yet. The best way I want you to think of shares outstanding and how they relate to stock price is for the stock to go up, it can go up very quickly if the shares outstanding are low, because new investors can come in and wipe out the current investors, and they just swap shares back and forth. And there's a lot. You can trade pretty much every share if they're very low and the float's low. If there's a lot of shares, maybe only half the people want to trade it. And in that case, the stock can't move that much. But I would describe it as gravity. So the more shares outstanding, the more gravity is on the stock. So the less it can go up over time. And ACB has a lot of gravity. It's got 1 billion shares out there. It's a lot holding down the stock. Right here we have CannTrust, my favorite pot stock out there. It's in the pot stock playlist if you want to check it out. CannTrust has 100 million. That's very little gravity compared to 1 billion shares. So CannTrust, huge room to grow, and it's hard for me to explain more, but basically think about it as gravity. There's less gravity when there's less shares outstanding. And then lastly, this is just the last metric I want to show you. This is growing capacity. Fire has about 50,000 grams. It's not even close to anybody on the top 11 chart. I just threw it in there just to add it in there, but it just does not have any capacity like some of these other companies. So Fire needs to increase their production a lot more to compete with the big names or even any of the names in the industry. So Fire went from 10,000 kilograms to 50 this year. So that was kind of their ramp up. 50 is kind of their high end. I don't expect them to go another double or triple from there. They need to buy more facilities and a lot of work needs to be done. So they kind of had their moment where they increased production by 300 or 400%. And 50,000 kilograms is kind of what we're working with at this point. So next, as you've been waiting patiently, we're going to go to that slideshow. Just understand the company, Supreme. This is a pretty cool name. And we have Fire as the ticker, which is also amazingly cool. And we're going to skip through most of this stuff, get you to the best part of the slideshow and let you know what's happening. Every slideshow says this. The market's huge. We know this. It's estimated to be $180 billion in the world. And yeah, so if they're any part of that, 1 billion, that's massive. They're only bringing in $12 million a year. So for them to get up to even 500 million would be a 50x from here. So they're also talking about alcohol market, comparing that to cannabis. Nothing crazy I want to talk about, but I do want to show you this map. This is where they're located, kind of what they get into. So if you're curious about where they can sell, what provincial deals they have, this is the place to look. So right here, the red is in the province and the black is private. Supreme has a lot of private and provincial deals that you can see. The Supreme label is where they are selling. So if they don't have the label on there, it means they're not doing business in there. So there's a couple places where they just aren't selling product, but they're selling it to the most populated places, which are in the top or the bottom right over here and kind of the middle over here. They're missing this section, which is one of the most populated places. It's hard to get deals in there and hard to get distribution in there. So that's something I don't expect them to do right away. But the fact that they have this much distribution throughout Canada is huge. I've seen a lot of companies only have certain parts, but they have the most spread out of most of the companies I've seen. So they have private deals on all three in this province. Sorry, I don't know the names. I'd be doing you injustice if I just guessed. So right here they have wholesale, online, and retail, all right here in the private, and then we have some province deals in here. So they're working their way throughout Canada. That's the only takeaway I want you to get from this, is that they have a great brand, and they're going to talk about this soon. Great products, and they're delivering them in Canada. So they're trying to get their market in there, and they're trying to show people that what they make is great, and they're trying to just prove it quickly where they are. And I've talked about this a lot. When you start making a lot of cannabis, the quality is going to go down, and if the quality keeps going down, then less people are going to buy it. And that's where these little manufacturers and these smaller companies like Supreme are going to take over, because if they make a quality brand, then the customers are slowly going to start drifting to them, and they're not going to go to the big brand names. So in this case, this is a great opportunity for this company to be bought out. So if they're making quality products and people are migrating towards them or gravitating towards them, then other companies are going to see that. That's going to be huge. But if they can just do what they're doing well, I think this is great for this company right now. So they know their customer. They know 85% of cannabis enthusiasts will not purchase a product that has subpar scent and flavor. Just like I said, people in the cannabis industry are looking for something unique. They're not looking for cookie cutter products. This is a high-end brand right here, and I'm going to show you that's kind of their plan. They also point out 63% of cannabis enthusiasts will reject products that don't have great visual inspections. So that just lines up with high quality products are going to win in this market. And the companies that are making just cookie cutter products to everyone that goes in every store, high volume, I don't think they're going to be the most profitable long term. So these companies are the ones going to get bought out and make the most per dollar. So right here we have quarterly revenues going from 1.5 million all the way up to 5.5 million in 1 year span. So that's a 4 to 5x in revenue in 1 year. And each quarter we've gone up 8, 23, 70, 40%. So this company is growing. What they're doing is working. And I've seen this in many different companies in this industry, is that the price per gram that they're getting is 67. So this is on the higher range. The average is 4 to 5 to 4.75 per gram. So that's the low range, that's the average, and they get what is I've seen is the higher end. I've seen 7 to 9 in some companies, and the reason they can charge that much is because they have a huge high rating on their products. So this is something that they pride themselves on. They're showing it right here. This is a big deal. The fact that they can have great ratings, great products, and charge premium for it, it definitely lines up. And this is showing with the numbers. They're up 4x on just revenue alone in 1 year for that quarter, that first quarter. And we have potency relativity. It's in the middle. And then they're recognized by all the big companies. So if they're recognized, higher chance of being bought out. And we're just going to head on to how they look at their products. So the more volume you do, that's okay, but less margin you're going to get. You're not going to make a lot of money just selling bulk cannabis to everybody. And I said this multiple times in this video. The premium products are going to get the highest margin, the most dollars. So this is one of those products, and they're talking about it. They talk about how they get higher ratings, they've been having higher sales, and it's all leading up and validating this theory that their products are premium and people like them. So please comment below, let me know what you think about their products, if they're better than some other companies, if you tried them. I'd love to get the debate rolling, let everyone see what the products look like in some other people's eyes and how they line up compared to other companies and other products on the market. And I got 2 more things I want to show you in this slideshow, which are integral to the company. So please stay tuned till the end. This is going to be great. First, they talk about how the flower sector, the actual cannabis product, is the major part of this market. This is 59% in Canada for 2019 estimates. 2017, we expected 50. We had 54% of flower in that market. So flower is a big part of the market. That's what they're giving the market with their products. And the big thing is that the overall market is growing every year. So if flower is 50% of the market and they're in that, that's where the game is. And they're going to be winning with that. So if they make great products, I just see this company doing well. So I haven't looked in the numbers yet, but from what I've seen, if companies can back this up with their numbers, premium products are going to win in the long term, in my opinion, and they're just going to be either bought out or they're just going to be that premium brand that is valued highly on the stock market. This is kind of like Canadian Goose. There's a lot of clothing brands that have those high premiums, high valuations, and I do see this happening with the cannabis industry too. So the last thing I'm going to point out, this is pretty huge too, is just their provincial supply agreements. A lot of companies are making most of their revenue from it. CannTrust has 5, Aurora has 5, and then Supreme comes in with 6. So they actually got one more than Aurora and one more than CannTrust. So they have more than some of the big players like Cronos and Hexo and T-God. T-God has 0 actually, so I don't know why they listed them. But market cap wise, it's got the lowest market cap on this list. So that tells me it's undervalued. I don't know what supply agreements are there though, because maybe they're not getting as much from these agreements compared to the other companies. But the agreements are huge, and this is where all the money is going to come from. So I suggest you look into what agreements they have, how much it can bring in each year, and what provinces they're in, because 6 is putting us on the higher end of the spectrum. And like I said in my metrics for market cap and price to sales, we have a very low market cap compared to the rest of the industry. We have plenty of room to run from here. The supply agreements are only going to fuel this run, and I would just suggest looking into it a little bit more. This is just a raw company overview. I'm not getting into all the nitty-gritty details, but I hope you enjoyed this, and this is all I got on this company. We're going on 15 minutes, so I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to see more companies like this, just check out the Cannabis playlist at the top right hand corner. We got T-God, we got Cronos, we got ACB, we got Afria, and it's all to educate you, help you make better decisions on which stock looks good, which stock you should hold long term, which stock you should get out of at a certain moment. So all here to make you better investors. Please check it out. Please hit that subscribe button. Market Moves signing off. Peace. For more information on the Market Mover Indicator, free consultation talks, and courses, head to the website marketmovesmatt.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out the latest and popular videos I have uploaded.